All right. 2w squared plus 7w plus 5. All right, so these are harder ones. This is like what we're talking about with the diamond thing. I don't happen to do the diamond method, but if you know and you're good at it, feel free to do that. I don't care what method you use. I just care that you're good at it, though. Make sure whatever method you use, you can crank it out flawlessly, because you need to be able to, I don't just mean you get it right sometimes, or half the time, or even 70% of the time. That's not enough. You need to have a method you get right about 90% of the time. So, all right, so I'll show one method, but any method's fine. I never care what you do. This one's going to be harder. Why is this one harder? It's the number in the front. Number in the front makes it a hard trinomial. Why? Why is that harder? Well, it's just simply there's more possibilities. There's more combinations. I'm going to write the word FOIL like we've been. I guess I've been kind of skipping it. But really, now we really need it. Now we really need to think about the whole FOIL word and what that all means. And we still have the idea of multiply, add, but it's going to be fancier. I'll show you. So let's do our two parentheses. You'll see the problem right away. Okay, so I need front times front to make front, right? That's what F stands for, the word FOIL, first or front, outer, inner, last. So front times front to make front. What times what? Makes 2w squared. 2w, 1w. The order doesn't matter. You put the 1w there, the 2w there, whatever. But you guys agree with me that that makes 2w squared? Right? Because remember, out front numbers multiply, powers add. So 2 times 1 is 2, and w1, w1, w2. All right, so what? Well, that's easy. Let's go to the back number. What numbers multiply to be 5? 1 and 5. So I'll go 1 and 5. Yeah, but wait a minute. 1 and 5 don't add to be 7. Right? They multiply to be 5. They only add to be 6. They don't add to be 7. So it can't be 1 and 5, can it? Yes, it actually is 1 and 5. Because they do something more tricky now. When I write add, whoops, I'm erasing it. When I write add now in the middle on the hard trinomials, the ones that have a number in the front, you have to realize the add is a more complex adding now. It's not a simple adding. It's not just simply, hey, 1 times 5 is 5, and they add to be 6. Well, they need to add to be 7. How do they add to be 7? They add to be 7 through the OI interaction. We weren't really worried about that. We didn't think about that in the last section because it really didn't matter, didn't come into play. Now it will. The add is not just a simple add of the numbers. It's an adding of the O and the I, the OI. What does that mean? What does O and I stand for? Let's put back the 1 and the 5 again. What does O and I stand for? Outer, outer, inner, inner. That's what the O stands for, the two outer guys. So the two outer guys actually interact. That's what happens when you FOIL. We're basically foiling backwards here, right? We're saying what would FOIL to go back to that. So the two outer need to multiply. What is 2w times, I'm multiplying right now, it's all multiplying, 2w times 5. Well, it's 10w. And the two inner, that's the O, the two inner need to multiply. What is 1 times 1w? Well, it's just 1w. That's the two inner. And what do they add up to be? Because remember, you add the O and the I. Well, they'd add to be 11w. That's not right. It's supposed to make what? It's supposed to make 7w. Bring that down here. It's supposed to make 7w. They're supposed to add to be 7w. 1 and 10 don't. Well, that means it's not right. Right. But it can be fixed. How do we fix it? Yeah. Now the order matters. Remember I've been saying order doesn't matter, don't worry about it? Well, now it does. Why? Because the fronts are not just simple W's. One of them is a 2W. So it matters who you're with now. So the order on the first two doesn't matter. Put the first two anywhere you want, doesn't matter. But when you put the back two in, that matters, because now they're going to be with different things. They're not going to both just be with an X or both with a W. One's going to be partnered with a 2W. One's going to be partnered with a 1W. And that'll make the OI, the outer interact, the O and the I interactions different, and thus it'll make a different middle term. So what does that mean? If something's not working, like right now this is not working, 1 and 10 don't make 7. So you go, oh, first thing you try to do is just switch the order on the back two. You do have to try changing the order in the back two. And then you try the OI thing again. The two inner now, 5 times 1W, 5W, 2 times 1W, 2W. Now they make 7W, don't they? See how that fixed it? 5 and 1 interact with the 2 and the 1 to make 7. Not just by themselves make 7. You see the difference? This is the harder trinomials. This is the difference on the harder ones. So there's our answer. We're done. And that's it. Is that making sense on that? What's that? It's right there. So that, yeah, all this was just check work. Yeah, so the answer's up there. It's those two parentheses. That's our answer. Questions on that? Okay, so let's try another one like this. You got to worry about the whole FOIL now. I want to ease in. So let's go to number 3, which is easier than number 2. So 4r plus 6r squared. Oh, that one has another trick. Boy, they're just diving right in. I'm trying to ease you in, but they're not letting me. That one has a couple of problems right off the bat, in addition to all the other new stuff. What needs to be done with him right away? First reorder, yeah. So first reorder, put the 6r squared in the front. And then, yeah, take out what's in common, right? Yeah, you have to always be looking for that, guys. I'm surprised they popped it right here in the beginning like this. One big parenthesis. It's a rough problem for number 3. Yeah, let me stop right there. We're not done yet. Now we have a nut. Now, finally, we'll do the thing we really have come to do. Now it's FOIL time. You know, we'll think about front, and last, and all that. But everybody see the preliminary steps I had to do to get there? Does that make sense? I had to reorder it. That's not a big deal. But then, this is the one that would trick many people, is remembering to take out what's in common. 2 goes into all of them, huh? So I've got to take out that 2. It's in common to all of them. And then you got to do the one. Whenever you take out a GCF, you got to do the one big parenthesis, because the numbers change, don't they? They were 6, 4, 10. Now they're 3, 2, 5. And now do the 2 parentheses. So can you take it from there? Try to do the 2 parentheses on the part that's left. See what you can do. So just under, we have like 25 minutes left. We'll do maybe 3 of these. These are kind of long. The time that remains. And we'll do more on Wednesday. Our next exam is coming real quick because it's the easiest exam. In fact, it's 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, we will take exam number 2, which just covers chapter 4, the easiest chapter. All right, so front times front to make front. What times what makes 3r squared? 3r and regular r, or 1r if you want, right? 3 times 1 is 3. All's good so far. Front times front. You do the FOIL thing. Front times front's making front. Now last. Last times last to make 5. By the way, don't worry about the minus 5. We'll do the signs at the end when we have the 2 arcs. We'll do the signs and to hold off, and there's just too much to worry about. So worry about signs later. What times what makes 5? I don't care about negative 5, just plain 5. What times what makes 5? Well, 1 times 5, or 5 times 1. And we don't know which order. Actually, I do. That's the wrong order right there. But I'm going to do it wrong on purpose first. I want you to see what happens when it's wrong and how you fix that. The 5 and 1 actually go in the other order, which you may know. So let's give it a try. The 2 inner, 1R. The 2 outer, 15R. How can they make the middle term? What? Remember, they're supposed to make the middle. What's in the middle? Now we're going to think about signs. For the first time, we're going to worry about pluses and minuses. You got to make plus 2R. That's what's in the middle here. Can a 1 and a 15 make plus 2? No way. No way. So what does that mean? When it's not working, what do I do to try to fix it right away? Swap the order on the back 2. That's always what we try first when something's not working. So I grab this one, and I put the 5 here and the 1 there. That's going to change the interaction with the oi, the inner, 5R, outer, 3R. You with me? 5 times R, 3R times 1 is just 3R. Now, can 5 and 3 make plus 2? Yeah. Sure. How? Now, careful, how? The sign in the middle, now we're doing signs, right? For the first time in this problem, I'm doing signs. The sign in the middle goes where? On the bigger. Now, careful. I've also changed what I mean by bigger and smaller. Used to be, we just simply looked at whatever was in the parentheses, and the bigger was the bigger, and the smaller was the smaller. Not so on the harder. There's more to worry about. There's more to think about. I'm focused on these guys. The O, bless you. The O and the I. So when I say bigger, I don't mean bigger in the parentheses necessarily. Maybe it may not be. It's a side issue. I mean which one of these guys is bigger. Because they're the 2 that are going to make the middle, right? So plus on the 5, minus on the 3 makes plus 2, doesn't it? So that means plus on the 5, minus there, and we got it. Does that make sense on all that? So right at the end, I had to make plus 2. So that's plus 5 and minus 3. That makes plus 2. Now, how did this sign go straight? The sign in the front here always goes straight up. And the bottom one just goes to the back, whatever sign. Because minus 1 times 3 makes the minus 3. Right? The 2 hours. Is that okay? So there's just more going on. Just a little more complex. Okay.
So we're pretty far ahead in our lesson.
In this section, they're all pretty challenging. Okay. So 30 u squared minus 27u plus 6. Try that one. So what's first step on that one? Good. Did you remember? Good job. Yeah, don't dive right into the 2 parentheses. So I purposely let that one sit for a minute. I'm trying all I can to reach you on this. You've got to remember, always, always, always ask, is there a GCF? If so, you got to do the 1 big parenthesis step, then the 2. Yeah. What goes into 30? 27 and 6. 3. You got to put that 1 big parenthesis, and then you'll go to the 2. But you got to do this extra step, right? Then you go to 2. So do the 1 big parenthesis first, numbers change, then do the 2 with the FOIL thing. You're doing okay? Is this making sense? So take out the 3. This leaves 10u squared minus 9u plus 2. Good there. Now we're ready for the unite. Now we're ready to think about the FOIL thing. Okay. And front times front to make 10u squared. Now, it could, did you guys use 5u and 2u? I think that's good. I think that's what'll work. But you realize there was another option, 10u times 1u, but you pick the pair closer together usually. Usually. Now, number 2 that I skipped, it's because they didn't do that. I didn't want to throw that at you right away. But let me just say, there's options here. That's the problem. There's just a lot of options. When you're saying what 2 numbers multiply to be 10, there's actually 1 and 10 or 2 and 5, huh? Well, how do you know which pair to try? Usually, about 80 to 90% of the time, it'll be the numbers closer together. 2 and 5 are only 3 apart, 1 and 10 are 9 apart, right? It's usually the pair closer together. Try that first. So I'm going to go 5u, 2u. That's probably right. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, it's going to actually be right. Okay, we good so far. And either order. The order on the first 2 doesn't matter. You could put 2u here and 5u there. It doesn't matter at all. It's only the order on the back 2 that matters. So now it's time for the back 2. So what am I going to put in the back 2 to make 2? What times what is 2? Well, 1 times 2. I mean, there's no options there. 1 times 2. Now, 1 times 2. Or maybe the other order. Yeah, I'm always doing it wrong at first. It's not that order. Let me give you a reason to have. Now, I could check it with the little arcs and all that, and I will in a minute. But let me say something new that'll actually be helpful. I mean, it'll speed you up. That is, you're never going to have 2. There's no way this could be the answer. I don't even need to check it with the arc thing. No way you're going to have 2u and 2 in the same parenthesis. No way, because they have 2 in common. You're never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common. Like you couldn't have 2 and 6, for example, because they have 2 in common. You're never going to have 2 numbers in the same parenthesis that have anything in common, let alone the very same number. Why not? Well, because you, if it was like 2u plus 2, you could factor out the 2, right? If they had a 2 in common, you could factor it out. Well, so what? Is that the end of the world? Well, it can't be, because we already took out the commonness on step 1. There can't be commonness later. We've already got it out, right? So that'll really speed you up, guys. Everybody understanding that? That'll cut through some options. You don't want to waste so much time. So you just look at this and you go, oh, no way. No way. No, I'm not even going to try it. No way 2 2's in the same parenthesis. So therefore, if I'm going to put the 1 and the 2 down, I'm going to put the 2 here and the 1 there. That's a maybe. In fact, that'll be right. Right? Because 5 and 2 have nothing in common. 2 and 1 have nothing in common. So yeah, that might work. In fact, it will work. Let's prove it. Now we got to prove it with the arcs. The 2 inner. Remember, you got to do the middle. The hard part is getting the middle right, which is the oi, outer, outer, inner, inner. So the 2 inner, 2 times 2u, 4u. The 2 outer, 5u times 1, 5u. Do they make the middle term minus 9? Remember, you bring down the middle here. Minus 9u. Both negative, sure. Minus 4 and minus 5. You lose $4, you lose $5, you lost $9. Or 9 u's. Right? That's right. So that means, remember, this sign always goes straight up there. See, first you determine the signs down here, and then you let it float right into the parenthesis. Minus right there, the bottom one goes to the back, always. We got it. By the way, that does make plus 2. Negative times negative multiplies to be plus 2. All the signs are good, aren't they? Everybody see that? See how that's working? Is that good? Questions I can answer. We'll get a couple more done. We'll finish the last 5 minutes. We'll do the clicker thing finally. I'm getting the clicker up here on the screen. We'll do the clicker thing in the last 5 minutes. But we all good on that? Questions I can answer on that? All is well? Let's try number 2. All right, so 4a squared minus 21a plus 5. What's the first question on any factoring problem? What's the GCF, right? What's in common to them all? Is there some number that goes into all of them? No. So go ahead and go right under the two parentheses. It's good we look for it, but there's nothing there. There's nothing in common. So we skip the one parenthesis step, go right on to the two. What times what makes 4a squared? Well, we could do 2a, 2a. But it turns out it just won't work. You could try 2a, 2a. Nothing will work with it. Let me show you real quick. It doesn't work. It makes 4. It works so far, but it won't work in the end. What times what makes 5? 1 times 5. That's all you can do to make 5, right? Do they make the middle term the minus 21? No, because the 2 inner, the 2 outer, that's not going to work, is it? 1 times 2a is 2a, and then 2a times 5, that's 10a. They do not make the middle term of minus 21a. No way 2 and 10 can make minus 21. So you see how that's just not going to work? And there's nothing else I can do with the 1 and the 5, right? 1 times 5 is the only way to make 5. So the only other way to fix this is back with the 2a, 2a. You with me? So the problem's back there. It's 4a, 1a, or regular a, rather than 2a, 2a. See if you can get that to work. Fix that from there. I'll give you a second. See if you can get that to work. Okay, so what times what makes 5? 5 times 1. Check, is it 5 and 1 in that order? No, it doesn't work in that order, because the 2 inner would make 5a, the 2 outer would make 4a. They can't make 21. So then you switch the order. You put the, say that didn't work, so put the, what is it? The 1 there and the 5 there. Then try it, now it'll work. So the 2 inner make 1a, the 2 outer make 20a. Can they make minus 21? Both negative. If you lose 1a and you lose 20a's, you lost 21a's. Both negative, both negative. And those do multiply. Remember, they got to multiply to be the back term? To be plus 5, don't they? 2 negatives multiply to be positive 5. So it's right. Does that make sense on that? Is that good? Questions on that? So sometimes it is 4a and a, but usually it'd be 2a, 2a. Depends. Okay, so 14 s to the third. I don't like it when they use s's. Minus 33s squared plus 18s. All right. Give it a try. What's the first step on every factoring problem? GCF, take out what's in common. What's in common? Yeah, just the S. They don't have any number. There's no number that goes, you can try on a calculator. There's no number that goes into 14, 33, and 18. But there is an S. They all have an S. Okay, so take out an S. So first step. So we all good to there? Oh, sloppy S there. Good. Now do the FOIL thing. From there. See if you can finish from there. Okay, so that S stays in the front, doesn't it? We do the two parentheses. Am I racing ahead of you? What times what makes 14s squared? 7s, 2s. 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, and go to the last. Last times last makes 18. What times what makes 18? 6 and 3, 2 and 9. There's a couple options there. 6 times 3. Which option should we try first? Yes, 6 and 3 are closer together. Now, it might be 2 and 9. I don't know off the top of my head. But let's try 6 and 3. Usually, they're closer together, right? They're only 3 apart. 2 and 9 are 7 apart, right? It's probably 6. It could be 1 and 18, but I don't think so. It's probably 6 and 3. Now, what order? I don't know. Maybe 12 and 21. Yeah, it's that order, so I'll do it wrong. 3, it's not this order. So 3 and 6 is not right. It's the other way. But let's see it. So the 2 inner, how do I know it's not this way? I'm doing the 2 inner, 2 outer thing. So the 2 inner make 6s. The 2 outer make 42s. What's the middle term need to be? Negative 33s. 6 and 42 can't do that. Right? What do they make? 34, 36. Anyway, they don't do it. They're not right. So right away you switch them, don't you? So put the 6 here, the 3 there. 6 here, 3 there. Try yet again. Now the 2 inner make 12s. The 2 outer make 21s. Now can they make minus 33? Negative and negative, right? If you lose 12s and you lose 21s, you lost 33s. That's right. Both negative. So bring this up. Negative, negative, both negative. And 2 negatives do make plus 18. That's right. They multiply. Remember, you multiply to be the back, you add to be the middle. Remember? It's all working, isn't it? That's the right. This is the right answer. You do need that S in the front. It is required to have that S in the front. Now you can switch the order of the entire parenthesis. Have I mentioned that? You can put the whole 2s minus 3 first and the 7s minus 6 second. That's okay. So you can always move the entire parenthesis, but not the individual pieces. Same answer. I'll say or. Same answer. Good on that? Are we happy? Have you guys had enough math for the day? So, if I get the little clicker thing happening here.